What's up, family? I'm Pastor Kenny, and thank you for joining us here. Listen, you're about to watch a message that I believe is going to help free you from some stuck places. Anybody ever felt stuck? Well, listen, God doesn't just give us provision. He gives us the opportunity to engage in a cycle. And I believe that seasons change with time, but cycles change when we do. And I believe that as long as we keep seeding the cycle, that God will give us the opportunity for overflow. Listen, we're in our finance series. God has been speaking to us about our finances, and this is the final message in our Next Level Money finance series. I want you to check out this message. Let me know if you like it. If you do, if it blesses you, I just pray that you would send it to somebody else. I'm asking. I ain't too proud to ask. That you would send this to somebody, that it'll be a blessing to them. Listen, I want you to check this out. Next Level Flow. Don't stop the cycle. Can somebody give God a hand clap of praise? Because he's holy, forever holy. Matter of fact, just take a moment and scream out, holy. God, you're holy. God, you're holy. God, you're holy. So excited this morning to worship with you. Can we take a moment and honor our teams, our squads? Somebody scream out squads. Scream out squads, scream out squads. Can we take a moment and honor Pastor Tasha, who's on assignment this morning? Can you take a moment and honor your neighbor? Just look at him in the eyeball and say, I honor you. I honor you, Shay. I don't know what it took for you to get here this morning. I don't know what you had to fight through, but I'm glad you made it. 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 Listen, you can take your seat in the presence of the Lord. I'm excited for what God is doing. I got a quick announcement for you for this particular service, our 8:30 service. Next Sunday is Resurrection Sunday. It's Easter Sunday. And I don't know about you, but if you saved and if you follow Jesus, you get excited that he got up with all power in his hands. And it is one of the biggest celebrations that we have because he lived, we can live, and we get an opportunity to spend eternity with our Father. And so next Sunday, we will be celebrating like crazy. Our production team has put together a production. Our youth, y'all give it up for our Purpose Blaze leading us this morning. Our youth are going to be involved. I'm super excited about it. And in preparation for that and to make some space, we will not be having 8:30 service next week, okay? I know. But I want everybody, listen, we get the opportunity to spend some time with some of our family in the other services. And I believe that there may be some people that have been assigned to your life that's just been coming to the wrong service. See, they coming to 10:15, they supposed to be coming to 8:30. But I want you to pick one, 10 o'clock or 10:15 or 12. And I want you to come show up and hang out with us, okay, family? Is that all right? Y'all excited? Y'all gonna come pull up on this Easter Sunday? Do we still wear Easter suits and pastels? And boy, when I tell you Easter Sunday, I used to be short. I used to get the part like Asher got a little part. Don't laugh. You laugh way too loud. But it's going to be an amazing time. And we got an Easter egg hunt, the whole nine, so bring your babies, and we're excited about that. Listen, we're getting ready I want to jump right into the Word, if that's all right. I'm going to jump into the Word, and I want you to turn to 2 Kings chapter 4. We're going to read verse 1 through 6, I believe, in the NIV. And those sermon notes are available to you now. You can tap the disc on the back of the chairs, or there's a QR code that may come up on the screen. You can pull out your phone and scan that as well, and follow along as we go along. And has this series been a blessing to you? Amen. I'm excited to share. Last week I kind of talked up on a revelation from something that I say all the time, and I believe this is going to be a great way to close out this sermon series about our next level finances. And so I'm excited about that and ready to jump into it. Are y'all ready? Yeah. All right. 2 Kings chapter 4.
1 through 6. Here it is. The wife of a man from the company of prophets cried out to Elisha, "Your servant, my husband, is dead, and you know that he revered the Lord. But now his creditor is coming to take my 2 boys and his slaves." Oh my God. Elisha replied to her, "How can I help you? Tell me what you have in your house." Look at your neighbor and say, "What you got in your house?" What you got in your house? What you got in your house? He didn't ask her for what she didn't have. She said, "What do you have in your house?" She replied this, "Your servant has nothing there at all," she said. Somebody say, don't discount what's in your house. Except a small jar of olive oil. Elisha said, "Go around and ask all of your neighbors for empty jars." Watch this. I love this. Don't ask for just a few. God is setting her up right here. "Then go inside and shut the door behind you and your sons. Pour oil into all the jars, and as each is filled, put it to the side." She left them and shut the door behind her and her sons. They brought the jars to her, and she kept pouring. When all the jars were full, she said to her son, "Bring me another one." But he replied, "There is not a jar left." Then the oil stopped flowing. I want to conclude this sermon series with this sermon title and subtext. The sermon title is this: Next Level Flow. Next level flow. I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, "Don't stop the cycle. Don't stop the cycle. Don't stop the cycle. Don't stop the cycle. Don't stop the cycle." Family, I want to start out this sermon, this message, this thought with this idea, and I want you to lean in with me. Here it is. God doesn't just give provision, he creates cycles. God doesn't just give provision, he creates cycles. And what is a cycle? A cycle is momentum. Somebody say momentum. It's something that has to keep moving. He doesn't just give us provision, he creates cycles. He creates cycles. God didn't just create water, but he created a cycle. He created a system that makes sure that water never runs out. Water evaporates, and then it goes up and forms clouds, and then the clouds are formed, and then it starts what? Raining. Is it anybody that's glad to see any rain sometimes? Anybody that's ever been in a drought and was glad when the rain showed up? And it comes back down as rain, and it starts to feed the earth, and then it does what? It goes right back up into the sky and does the whole cycle all over again. Somebody say he creates cycles. He creates cycle. He didn't just give us breath, but he gave us a cycle of life. Jesus said that I come that we have what? Life. Somebody just breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Anybody that's ever had asthma can appreciate this moment. Breathe in and breathe out. Now breathe in and hold your breath. Keep holding. Keep holding. See, after a while, you can't just hold on to your breath. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. See, we can't just inhale. At some point, we gotta let it go to live. And that ought to be a blessing to a few people in here that's been holding on to some things for a season a little longer than you should have. Somebody's been holding on to some relationships, holding on to some jobs, holding on to some situations, holding on to some financial struggles. And God is saying, I want you to let it go so you can live. I just need a few people to throw your hands up and scream, let it go, and live. Let it go. Matter of fact, tap your neighbor and say, live, 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 live. It's time to let it go so you can live. Water has a cycle. Breath has a cycle. Can I tell you this? Y'all ready? Harvest has a cycle. Somebody say harvest has a cycle. Seed, time, harvest, more seed, time, harvest, more seed, time, harvest. Genesis 8:22 says, for as long as the earth lasts, planting and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night. This is my favorite part. It will never stop. King James says it'll never cease. It'll never die. For as long as you got a seed, you got the opportunity to start a cycle of harvest. And I don't know about you, but there's some people in this room that may feel like I've been stuck up against some stuff. I've been hitting up against a glass ceiling, and I feel like I'm in a season of drought. Can I tell you that if you keep feeding the cycle, if you keep seeding the cycle, that you'll end up in a cycle of harvest that never stops. I declare over this 8:30 service that harvest is about to hit your life, and it's not just going to be a moment, but it's going to be momentum. Somebody just say, harvest is about to hit my life. Everything God designed to live has to keep moving. And just like water has to keep moving, just like breath has to keep moving, just like the seed is designed to keep moving, as long as we jump into alignment with the cycle, things gonna keep moving. And there may be some people that may be getting ready to throw in the towel. Keep moving. It may be some people that's been trying to quit. Keep moving. It may be some people that's tempted to give up. Keep moving. I need you to just touch yourself and encourage yourself and say, keep it moving, keep it moving. I know it feels like you're ready to quit, but keep moving. I know it feels like you're coming up against a dark season, but keep moving. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because I'm not alone. I just need some people in this room that was getting ready to quit to just begin to say, you gotta keep moving, you gotta keep moving. Don't stop the cycle. Woo! Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. And so that's where we find ourselves in the text, where this widow, who's nameless, is in debt. And she has come up against a crazy situation. She just lost the love of her life, her husband, her protection, her provider, her support system. And not only that, she's come up against a time where he has a creditor that's threatening to take her sons. It just seems like everything is happening all at once. Has anybody ever been at a season where it feels like the bottom falls out, the sides collapse, the ceiling is caving in, just wave at me today. Everything just happening all at one time. And it says that she gets a revelation to cry out to Elisha. Elisha represents God's voice and access to divine wisdom. I don't know if you feel like the bottom is falling out, the sides collapsing, and the ceiling is caving in. All you got to do is get a revelation that I need to cry out. Somebody just scream out, cry out. Scream it out, cry out. She cries out. And I told you, I want to say it again. He represents God's voice and access to divine wisdom. Elisha cries out to God's voice and access for divine wisdom. Watch this. He's not the source of the miracle, but he is the channel God is using for instruction. Sometimes you come up against some seasons where you really just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It feels like everything is going wrong right now. I don't know what to do. It feels like I just won, and I've been praying for this a long time, and now that the miracle is in my hand, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this. I prayed for the marriage, and now I don't know what to do. I prayed for children, and now they're here, and any parents ever come into a time where it's like, listen, I don't know what to do right now. I wish it came with an instruction manual. I accepted this calling as a pastor, and I knew from the beginning I didn't know what to do. And God is saying, that's exactly where I need you. That's exactly where I want you. I want you to not know what to do, because you'll never be in a position where you can lean on your own understanding. You'll never be in a position where you feel like you can do this on your own. Can I tell you that God will never call you into a space where you feel like you can do anything without him? You won't be able to sustain the marriage without him, to sustain your singleness without him, to sustain your finances without him. Somebody just say, I can't do nothing without him. I can't do nothing without him. So she cries out to the man that represents God's voice. He's a prophet, he's respected, he speaks on behalf of God, and he represents access to divine wisdom. And James 1:5 says, if any of you lack wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. If you don't know what to do, sometimes we don't know because we don't ask. Somebody say, it's right here in the Bible. He says he's not even going to find fault. There are no stupid questions. There are no crazy questions. Ask away. Whatever you need, ask. Watch this. Even wisdom operates in a cycle. Even wisdom, ask and he gives generously. I don't know again, ask and he gives generously. Even wisdom operates in cycles. And Elisha represents God's system for getting answers to you. Elisha represents how he gets the answer to you, because here it is. The miracle didn't start with the oil, it started with instruction. The miracle didn't start with the oil. It started with instructions. And we are living in a time where many of us want a quick fix or instant breakthrough or get it here now and want to skip the process. But what if God wants to give you more than a quick fix? Why settle for the quick fix if he wants to give you more wisdom? If he wants to give you wisdom, that'll fix this and that. Why settle for instant breakthrough if he wants to give you principles and instructions, not only to get you out, but to get everything connected to you out? Some of us need to stop crying and stop throwing pity parties and start following instructions. She didn't get the miracle because she cried. She didn't get the miracle when she cried. She got a miracle when she followed what she heard. And I got one question for this 8:30 service. What did you hear? What did you hear? What did God say? What did you hear? What did you hear? What did he speak to you? What was his purpose for you? He knows the plans. What did you hear? I declare that you are one instruction away from your next season, one instruction away from starting the cycle, one instruction away from your purpose. I just need you to take about 5 seconds and give God praise, because he's sending instruction. Thank you for sending instruction. Thank you for being a light into my path and a lamp. Thank you for making my way clear. When I lean not to my own understanding, you make my path straight. Somebody just say, God, thank you for the instruction. The cycle starts with instruction, not with the pity party, not with our feelings, not with our tears even. It starts with what? Instruction. It starts with what? God is going to give you what to do. When it came time to build the ark, he gave them precise instruction. When they were in a time of famine, he spoke to Joseph and gave him precise instruction. This is why it's so important not to be distracted in this season, because God is going to speak to you precise instruction. He tells this lady to go gather some empty vessels, and not just a few. Okay, y'all missed it. He said, gather some empty vessels and not just a few. They were empty. They were available. They were borrowed. That means she didn't even have to pay for them. God is going to send you some help that you're not even going to have to pay for. Watch this. Jars equal capacity. Equal capacity. Jars represent the level of space we are willing to make for God to move. Jars represent the level of space we are willing to make for God to move. Somebody say, God is moving. A few years ago, God started speaking to us and we started seeing oil was pouring and God was showing us favor with people. And so we had an 11 o'clock service, but God says, I want you to go to 2 services because I need some more jars. And jars represent the level of space that you're willing to make God to move. And so we had our first 9 o'clock service. And I was nervous because I only got this little bit of jar to pour. And I know how science works, and if I pour this, that's all I got. And so we started pouring at 9 o'clock service, and we showed up the first Sunday, and we see all these faces, and we're like, wow, the oil is flowing. And so we get to the 11 o'clock service, and the oil is flowing so much so to eventually it starts to overflow. So we made another jar. And we said, okay, we're going to go to 3 jars. And all the worship team and everybody's very nervous right now. I have not got one amen. This is not a pitch for 4 services. This is just, no. So here's the thing. We can get caught up, hear me, in thinking that the God of the Bible is not still doing the same miracles. And even though he's not, we're not pouring oil into borrowed vessels or empty. We're pouring oil still today. And the same principle, the same cycle applies as long as we keep making space. See, this next season, it may not look like another service. This next season, it looks like another building. It looks like another facility so that we're able to continue to give God space so that the oil can move. I just need somebody to just jump into faith and say, God, keep your oil flowing. Don't break the cycle. Don't break the cycle. Keep your oil flowing. Jars represent the level of space we make for God to move. I know you got the oil, but where can you pour it? I know you got the oil, but what good is the oil if you don't pour it? Have you been complaining about something God has assigned to be a container? I know you got the oil, but where are you pouring it? We've been complaining about it, and God has called you to pour your oil on it. Okay? We've been complaining about the relationship, but God has called you to pour your oil on it. We've been complaining about the church, but God has called you to. Maybe you've been assigned to fix the challenges that you see. Pour your oil on it. We've been complaining about our finances, but God has called you to pour. What container are you pouring your oil in? God called you to pour your oil into spaces that need it. He called you to pour your oil into spaces that need it. And I came to tell some people there are some jars that are waiting for your oil. And my question to you is, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? How long do you have to let the jar stay empty? How long do you have to let the oil sit still? See, the oil wasn't designed to sit still. Even the oil is designed with a cycle. Somebody say, pour your oil. Pour your oil, because here's the thing, the oil needs the jar just as much as the jar needs the oil. You need to pour your oil. You need a space to pour it. And maybe that's the reason some of us have been frustrated, because you've been hoarding your oil and it's been backed up and you're saying, man, I feel frustrated, I feel stuck. But where are you pouring your oil? Where have you been releasing your oil? I need some people to say, I need a space. I need a space to pour my oil. I need a space to release what it is that God has placed inside of me. Some of us have been frustrated with the jar, and the issue is you gotta pour. Somebody just scream, pour it, pour it. Keep the cycle going, pour it, pour it. And just like our oil, just like our breath, Just like water, our finances were designed to move. Our finances were designed to move. Here it is, 2 Kings 4:3. Elisha said, go around, ask all of your neighbors for empty jars. Don't just ask for a few. The size of the container determines the size of the cycle. The size of the container determines the size of the cycle. The size of the container determines the size of the cycle. See, if God wanted to, are y'all ready for this? I'm blessed. If God wanted to give her just enough, he would have told her to get just enough containers. But he said, don't ask for a few, which means, here it is, write this down. God wasn't just setting up a moment, he was setting up a cycle. So he put her on assignment to pour into as many jars as she could find. And if I were honest, many of us have been praying for overflow, but we've been living on just enough jars, living on just enough systems, living on just enough containers, living on just enough. But if we want increase, we got to have more than one jar. We've been praying for increase, praying for overflow, but we've only got one container, one stream of income, one mindset, one plan. But I came to challenge you on this morning to be on the lookout for more jars. Somebody say, I'm looking, I'm searching for more jars, more ways to steward what he has, more ways to multiply what he's given me, more ways to manage what God is sending, because the oil doesn't increase in your hand, it increases when it's poured. One more time, somebody just say pour, 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 pour your oil, pour your oil. But I gotta say this, discern where you pour. Not every container is designed to hold your oil. Not every container is designed to hold your oil. Not every good door is a God door. How many of us are willing to walk away from a good thing for a God thing? I don't know why this keeps coming back to me, but I was good. I was traveling the world, I was touring, I was playing with the best of the best, and I was out there and I was serving at my local church, and God said, I'm calling you to pastor. God, I'm good. I'm good. Bank account is good, my family is good, I'm good. Anybody ever been there? And God said, I know you're good. How many times have we ever got a revelation that maybe that assignment is complete? You didn't flunk out. You graduated. God is saying, you did well. Now I got another assignment. You've been trusted in this space. So now I can trust you in this space. And I was like, but what if I don't want you to trust? I'm sorry, that was too honest. Anybody ever been there? It's like, I don't want the wait. I'm good. I'm comfortable being comfortable. Here it is. Because if I didn't say yes to a God thing while giving up a good thing, we wouldn't be able to experience what God has had here for all of us. If I didn't say yes to that, it wouldn't be a 105 Southport Road. It wouldn't be a Purpose Place. Is it any people that's grateful that God led us to this space where we've gotten family that we've never had, where I got revelation and relationship with God that I never had before, all because I said yes to another container? Where there was, she said, all I got is this little bit of oil. She didn't realize that there was more oil in her that she could see. And God God said, I need to get your oil out of this little container and allow you to pour your oil into other containers, because the oil doesn't flow when we hold it. It flows when we release it. Somebody say, release it. Release it, release it, release it. That wouldn't even know. I don't know where I'm at right now. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Discern where you pour your oil. Somebody say, discern where you pour your oil. In order to get oil, it's got to be crushed, pressed. It's got to go through some stuff. We experience a lot of people, and we experience the oil on their life, but we don't know how much that oil costs. We don't know what was pressed. That's why I can't just pour my oil anywhere. That's why I can't just, Matthew 7:6, cast my pearl among swines. I gotta discern where I pour my oil, because this oil costs me too much. I cried a lot for this oil. I suffered a lot for this oil. I went through a lot of lessons for this oil. Wise people don't just receive oil, they manage it. Woo! Here it is. I see 3 things that'll help us keep the cycle going in our finances. Y'all ready? I'm gonna do it quick. Y'all ready? Yeah. Okay, here it is. First thing we see in the scripture is release is greater than lack. Somebody say, release is greater than lack. Release is greater than lack. See, Elijah said to her, how can I help you? Tell me what you have in your house. She said, your servant has nothing at all except for a small jar of oil. And then in 2 Kings 4:4, it says, well, pour your oil in all the jars, and as each is filled, put one to the side. See, the miracle didn't start with what she needed. It started with what she was willing to give. The miracle didn't start with what she needed. It started with what she was willing to give. It started with what she was willing to release. She had oil, but it wasn't working for her until she put it into God's system. And many of us, we got finances. I don't care if it's a penny. You got something, but it can't work for you until you put it into God's system. We've been holding on to it, saying, I'll save this until next week. And God is saying, but I gave you a seed, and that seed is available to you to produce a harvest. Somebody just say, release is greater than lack. Come on, scream it out. Release is greater than lack. What you keep stays small, but what you release multiplies. Can I declare that you're getting ready to release some finances that you feel is small, and God is getting ready to multiply your harvest? Somebody just say, God, multiply it, multiply it, multiply it. I came to tell the Purpose Place that your release will be greater than your lack, that your harvest is getting ready to multiply through your seed, all because you've decided to align with God's system. Align. His ways are better than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. And there are some things, principles that God gives us in our life to be able to experience John 10:10. I'm not beating you over the head telling you that you have to give. But what I am saying is that it's better. Wow. It's better. And as your pastor, as somebody that loves you, as somebody that has experienced this, I would be crazy not to share with all my family this principle in the Bible that literally works. It's the only one. He says, try me and see, test me and see. And every time I've tested him, I've seen, and he shows up every time. Somebody say, release is greater than lack. Here's the second thing. She kept it flowing. She kept it flowing. She kept it flowing. 2 Kings 4:6 says, when all the jars were full, she said to her son, bring me another one. Somebody say, bring me another one. If you get a revelation that all you got to do is keep pouring, keep finding jars, I'm going to try to find as many jars as I can. If I got a system that God has given me that allows the cycle to keep going, God says she kept it going, keep it flowing. She kept it flowing. 2 Corinthians 9:10, we love this at the Purpose Place. Now he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase increase your store of seed and will enlarge your harvest of your righteousness. The instructions were simple. Borrow vessels, pour oil. Borrow vessels, pour oil. And the Bible says the oil kept flowing until there were no more vessels. Not until God ran out. Not until heaven closed. Until she stopped making room. Until she stopped flowing. And how many of us have ended up in seasons that feel like drought? And if we can trace our steps back, it probably came because we stopped the flow. Missed sowing a seed. Missed keeping the cycle going. Went on vacation for a Sunday and I'm not, please filter this from my heart. I'm not indicting you. I'm not condemning you. I'm just making us aware of the ways the enemy will distract us so that we stop the flow. Because he wants to tie our hands so that we don't have options, so that we can't respond when there's a need. Y'all see what I'm saying? So we have to be intentional about making sure that we constantly release the flow. Here's the last thing, and you can stand on your feet. Brian, you can give me some of that soft music you love to play. After the miracle, the prophet tells her this: sell the oil. Sell the oil. Pay your debt and live off the rest. God didn't just solve the problem. He gave her a system. He gave her a cycle. She released what she had. God multiplied it. And now she has overflow to steward, which gives her more seed to release into the cycle. God gives us more seed to release so that we can keep the cycle going. Somebody say, keep the cycle going. Come on, say it again. Keep the cycle going. Keep the cycle going. And here's the thing. I've been trying to figure out how to fuse this for 4 weeks. Because as I studied this, I got a revelation that God chases after our seed so hard, not because he wants our money. He owns everything. He chases after our seed because he knows that our treasure is tied to our heart. And he's saying, if I got your heart, if I got your trust, then I can direct you into life, abundant life. So hear me, 90-day tithe challenge, all these things that we're doing as a church, this is not a fundraiser. This is a spiritual moment where God is saying, I want to train you to trust your heart. Our heart follows our treasure. Our treasure doesn't follow our heart. Hear me. Our heart is tethered to our treasure, which means when you place your treasure in God's hands, it automatically causes your heart to follow it. It causes you to want to spend more time with him, have more relationship with him, want to be in his presence. And I don't know about you, but if my heart going to be tied to anything, I don't want my heart tied to Amazon. I don't want my heart tied to TikTok shop. I don't want my heart tied to that. I want my heart tied to God, tied to my Father, tied to my Savior. Because he gave so much for us.
Well, listen, I pray that you were blessed, that this was a blessing to you. And I'm excited that you joined us and that you trust us to be a place of spiritual nourishment. And so listen, there are many of you that ask how to be a blessing back into this ministry and what God is doing. We're restoring hope to the community, be in the hands and feet of Jesus. And if you want to be a part of that financially and support through your resources, the information to do that is on the screen right now. Listen, you be blessed and have a wonderful day.